on the Bluetooth.
Yep.
It's like today, dude. You know?
I'm sorry, I'm not going to go home. I'm fine.
Those.
I'm going to Poland Friday. You can stay at my house until you fix this thing, you know?
Yeah, we're kind of... You live in a town that starts with M. I don't want to dox you, right? You still live down there?
Yeah.
It's not really on my way home, but I could bring you home.
I mean, it does say it on the side of my truck, right where I'm from.
Ah,
And you've made a whole documentary about where the truck came from.
There's Jordan.
Can you pull up that chat?
He's in. We can start.
Well, no, because it's via the web. You have to go via browser. There's no pop out in the Streamlabs one.
The echo is crazy. We're getting a crazy echo.
Oh, you must have something pumped in, Shook.
You idiot.
oh my God.
One of the outputs.
He's got
One
something
of the
cranked in
outputs.
all right.
Big tech guy.
Big tech fella, dude. Big tech fella. Something went wrong. Oh, thank you.
That's a lot.
There's a lot of outputs there.
Oh, yeah. But you
There we
do
go.
the-
Default, off, disabled.
How about now?
Yeah, let us know
Oh,
now.
what's that one? Aux, default.
Shook was playing the new Kanye album, so we had to take a minute to fix our sound. Let us know what's up with the sound.
So wait, I think I have to disable all these right
I was
now.
gonna say it might be all of them.
Someone introduce the fighters.
God damn, you had this album on blast, huh?
Yeah, dude, it's cranking this thing up. Shook was singing along hard, dude. Hallelujah. How is everybody? Can you hear us now?
Is that better? I hope.
Has the echo stopped?
Oh my God. There's way too many inputs.
Look at them all.
Holy shit.
Look at all these inputs.
Look at how many we have. Witness them.
Nick says it's better, but still whack.
What does that mean? Still whack.
It's broken.
Now he says we're better.
Okay, it's fixed. It's got to be fixed.
You're welcome.
Yeah, there was a long list of defaults.
Just at the beginning, we were late, but Shook was adding 100
not why-
inputs
that's not
to
why.
our computer.
37 inputs.
He's just at the end. He's like, you know what would help?
More inputs.
Let me get this Chizat up. I'll just do it as a random person.
Yeah, and go to YouTube's.
Oh, thank you
Tubes.
guys. Thanks to the chat room for really lining us up, you know?
Yeah.
Bringing us in, putting us above target,
That lineup is tight.
dropping them.
There we go.
Yeah, that's what I look like.
Yeah. Pop out.
Why is this so fucking big?
Because you
Whoa.
enhanced. You enhanced everything.
Pop it out.
Turn
Pop
me
it
up.
out. Popped out.
Turn me up, Daddy.
You? Up?
Just put me louder than everybody else. Yeah, I like it. Just put me all the way up. Leave everybody where they are.
There we go. You need some more juice in your headphones?
No, I don't think so.
There we go.
Ah, dude, we should have done the It's time.
How is everybody? Is everybody having a good time? Pitts McGee, see you there. Nick Pazar, thank you.
Corey's got a small head.
Details by Douglas. I see Scott Ivorone in there, even though Corey's not here.
I think the boys recorded stairs after we did.
Matt Hood.
Oh,
So it might be Mark.
Love to see
you
everybody.
got a small head, Mark.
Mark's got a small ass head, that's for sure.
But I had a small head.
Maybe I got a big head.
Maybe
You've got quite the dome.
you got
piece.
a dome, dude.
Yeah, it's quite the
Domed
I
up.
look like
quite the hardware, if you will.
Ron Perlman.
You know what your head kind of looks like? You know the Goombas in the real life Mario movie?
The live action Mario.
That's what my head looks like?
That's like
Not all of it, just like right here.
just
right in the just general area.
the front area of your head.
Yeah, right.
This is your
Just
man's
the most
right,
important
this
part.
Is your man's right
The
here,
visual.
dude.
Yo, put out.
Hold on.
I got you.
Okay.
I take it back. Your shoulder's not that big, but otherwise it's a dead lock.
That's fucking crazy.
Yo, I didn't think it'd be that close. If I'm honest.
Oh my god, we just need a quote on the side that says, "Have you tried turning it on and off again?"
That is
Oh my
fucking
God.
crazy, bro.
Oh my God,
Look at that's
dude.
what you look like. Then.
See that? I'm okay with that. That's hair gel.
Oh my god,
Is he hatching?
what is happening there?
That's fucking terrible.
Or that's just the state that figurine is in currently.
Ian Toby Rex, same face, little body.
Is that Yoshi? What is this supposed to be?
That was
That's
supposed to be
Yoshi,
Yoshi, yeah.
Or is that Bowser?
No, that was supposed to be
How's
Yoshi.
Princess Peach looking in this?
That's Bowser.
Oh my god.
What the fuck is happening? So Yoshi's just a
Right.
Velociraptor.
Just
dinosaur,
on,
yeah.
yeah.
that was the best that they could do.
That was the whole premise.
Yeah, of course I remember the TV show Dinosaurs, man.
I heard John Leguizamo was hammered all the time while recording that.
Yeah.
The show Dinosaurs?
No, the Super Mario Brothers.
Oh. Like the live action or the game? He didn't have very many lines in the game.
The live action.
It just wrote strangely turned on.
Have a no apparent reason boner?
It's totally
Did you ever watch The League?
coincidental.
Narb?
Did you ever watch The League?
No.
The
With
dude who
Charlie
get-
Sheen? Was it Charlie Sheen?
No, The League was
Oh,
the
no.
FX show.
Yeah.
And the dude would get fear boners.
Somebody told me
You got a fear
recently
boner.
that we were doing something risky, and he was like, I got to take a fear dump. And that made me laugh. I'm like, what the fuck is a fear dump?
Just in preparation.
She's like, gonna start this car after the timing bell. I got to do a fear dump.
Clear out the system beforehand. Oh, boy.
It's like we never left.
Let me pull up my stuff here.
Pull it out. Up.
Up.
Tuck it up.
Get it up. Get it out.
Tuck it up.
I do remember the TV show Dinosaurs with
Yeah.
the Nakamama, Nachamama.
Oh, that's that. Yeah.
That's Dinosaur. That's
And the baby
different.
dinosaur.
Boom. Nervous.
It was a great
Pete
show.
Brown.
It was a great show.
I didn't really watch that one.
I don't know if you were old enough.
I would. Yeah. Well, yeah. Live action dinosaurs.
Were you?
Yeah. The little baby. Not the mama.
Yep.
And then she
Confirmed. He's
hit,
seen it.
hit the dad with the frying pan in the
Mhm.
face.
I'm the baby. Gotta love me.
Oh, yeah, I'm the baby. I used to watch
Yo, lock in over here, dickhead.
I'm Locked In. Give me a kiss.
It's because you're not locked in.
I always forget. Every time I leave, I'm like, fuck.
I didn't take a picture again.
I used to watch Beast Wars.
Yeah, of course you did.
What Triple X channel was that on?
Oh, damn,
That was the best Transformer. Well, it wasn't Transformers. It was Beast Wars. But Optimus
Beast-
Prime was the monkey.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
There was dinosaurs in that too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Beast
yeah.
Wars. Beasts.
What week of
Maybe it was
July is that out in the
Dinobots.
Cape?
No.
It's right after Bear Weekend.
Everything was an animal.
Okay, so it is the one I was thinking.
Waspinator was a wasp, obviously.
Yeah, it came on.
Megatron.
But it came
was-
on before school. I used to watch it before I left.
Yeah.
Oh, Big Ian with the deep cut
Yeah.
Street Sharks.
Street Sharks
Oh,
was
Street
sick.
was hard.
You ever
dude.
see
Street
the
Shark?
commercial with Vin Diesel?
Yes.
He did the commercial for Street Sharks.
And then the
That's
Street Sharks
action figures?
gummy candy
Yeah, I
or
figured
gummy
it.
thing.
Yeah.
You talking about shark bites right now?
Shark
Shark
bites.
bites.
That's what it was.
Come on, dude. We should go get a rack of them.
Rabbit
Come,
bites?
yeah.
eBay.
No, turn this off. We'll go to the store. They still make shark bites.
They must.
Do they?
Pretty sure you can still
They're
get 'em.
delicious. How could they not? They took all the old ones and used the Pave 95.
Nick's really just he finds a way
It's
to
going in for Barney, dude.
really fucking derail this whole thing.
I'm a baby bop you.
Gargoyles.
Power Rangers.
Let's
Power
go.
Rangers was a hit. After
Gargoyles
school.
was good.
Thundercats.
Thundercats.
Oh!
And then the little cat, I was like, meow.
I'm scared. Snarf.
That's what it was, Snarf. I think his name was Snarf.
I think it
yeah.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah. You know they're redoing,
The movie? The show?
or there's going to be some sort
Wait.
of thing.
He-Man?
Might be a movie.
What did we just say? Thundercats.
Thundercats.
Was Skeletor
Thundercats.
He-Man or
Skeletor's
Thundercats?
He-Man.
He-Man.
Skeletors, don't you remember the song? Don't.
Oh, yeah.
Don't. From CKY?
Yeah.
Does he remember it? Yeah,
Dude,
word
I
for
remember.
fucking word.
Come here, Skeletor. Be sweat, be sweat.
Take off your high heels and stick them in your ass. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, SWAT cats?
Excuse me?
What?
SWAT cats. Cartoon Network. There are two cats that flew an airplane.
I don't think they had Cartoon Network when I was a kid.
Somebody's got to remember SWAT cats. G.I.
I-
Joe PSAs. Grab the stick. Give him the stick. Don't give him the stick. Don't give him the stick.
Pork chop sandwiches.
Jesus fucking Christ, kid. Get the fuck out of here. Sometimes you go to bed, you
Yo,
wake
G.I.
up, you're on
Nin-
fire.
The Ninja Turtles.
Who wants a body
Oh,
massage?
Donatello.
She's
Body
the best.
massage machine. Go.
The best.
Go.
What a
He's
life.
rolling the kid to put him out. Okay.
Oh my God.
All right. Okay. I'm out. It's good.
Body massage.
Those are the days. Those are the days.
Pork chop sandwiches. That was the best one. Yeah.
Pork chop sandwiches.
He's just sprinting. No. Or in the one with the gas mask saves him. He's like, hey kids. He pops the helmet up.
Oh god, those are the original memes.
It really was.
I'm a computer.
John,
Stop all the downloading.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
Where do we go from here?
All right, that's the Revival Mode podcast. Hit the outro.
You're
Zach,
welcome.
thanks for
This has
coming.
been our nostalgia minute.
Holy shit.
This is nostalgia hour.
Yeah.
Does your mother like baseball? Or do you like baseball, Johnny? Does your mother hang out at dockside bars?
Chuck, you ready to go?
Yeah,
Zach, you ready to go?
Hit it.
All right.
Hit the button.
Mr.
And-
Body Massage Machine.
3,
Go.
2, 1. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Josh Garcia, and this is the Revival Motoring Podcast. As always, I'm joined by Chuck, who?
Body massage.
Corey.si is away the next couple of weeks. Shook is sitting in his chair.
Hey, kids, I'm a computer. Stop all the downloading.
Don't give him a stick.
And we are here today to talk to our friend, Mr. Zach D. Piero. He just completed his vehicle's maiden voyage that happened to be across Route 66 or across the entire United States to California via Route 66. Him and Kevin 11 Photography did that trip. They made it. The vehicle is here. It's outside. Zach, we are going to talk to you this whole episode. We're not going to do our news or any of that sort of stuff. It's all about you.
We don't care about that stuff.
Because we got a
anymore.
bunch of stuff to cover. It was a long trip. It was a long preparation before said trip. You had this in your mind for quite some time. Do you feel accomplished?
Oh yeah, for sure. Obviously, there's way more stuff I want to, do, and I have a lot to iron out. But yeah, I think for never leaving Milford, ever, with it running and never going on the highway and never driving it at night, I think we did all right.
You checked a few boxes all.
I was pretty sure I would have cooling problems because I've literally only driven it in the winter, and the couple times I've had it out, more recently, it's been like 70.
Yeah.
Not 100.
Right. After a, extended jaunt on the highway.
Yeah.
If you will. So, all right. What time did you guys leave? For a quick background, anybody who doesn't know, we've been pushing your stuff out every chance we got over the past, let's call it month and a half, just to share everything that's been going on with that. So if you don't know,
What's the car?
what's the vehicle? What's in it?
It is a 1947 auto car. Forget the model name. Not important because half of you probably don't even know what an auto car is.
You idiots.
But it was a concrete mixer, concrete truck, and then it was turned into a wrecker by that company, Beard Sand and Gravel, to pull other concrete trucks out of wherever they got stuck, and then got sent down to Tennessee. And some older gentleman found it down there and kind of turned it into a hot rod. And he listed it for sale. I bought it. Unfortunately, scrapped his entire project and it sold off. I hate saying that, and I guess we can laugh about it, but.
Part of it was there.
I do feel honestly genuinely bad because you could tell this dude put a lot of effort and time. He had it for 10 years. Not ideal, but I was very upfront. I only want the cab. And he's like, I'm not selling just the cab. So, all right, I'll buy the whole thing. And, went down there, picked it up with my mom, trekked down to North Carolina with me, straight through the night, loaded it up at 8 in the morning, right back home. And got to work.
Take the cab off in front of him. Just leave the rest.
He
Just
did.
left the chassis in the
When we
street.
were loading it, we were driving it up, and it was real to drive. It had like a straight 6 Ford maybe predecessor to your fucking
Oh,
God's
yeah.
motor.
I've looked that up. It's a weird.
Yeah, they put them in like wood chippers and stuff. Apparently,
Yeah.
Love that.
yeah.
Very versatile. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Big
we're-
shouts to
we're-
Wild
We're
Steve.
trying to get it on the trailer, and shout out to Andrew Din for letting me borrow the trailer because that was mega help. We're trying to get it on the trailer, and it's sliding off. The grass is wet, and then he had to pull up another truck that he had that said "In Rust We Trust," and we were come alonging it off of the bumper off of that, and we got it on there, and I was on my way. And it's 12 hours back home.
Is he currently aware of its status?
No,
Send him pics.
Okay.
I am super hesitant to call him.
Yes.
But that needs to happen now, especially I feel like even with the change of the truck and what he did,
Yep.
I think if I tell him I built it and then drove it across America, he might have a little more respect
Yeah.
about what I did, not just like chopped his shit up and
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was that.
Tell him it's the same.
I mean, it's better
So
than him
shop.
putting it on the forever stands.
For sure.
Just be like, "Hey, yeah, I threw some plugs at it.
Threw a little oil in it, drove
plugs.
across the country.
No problem.
Marble Mystery Hall. You ever heard of it?
Baby runs like
But,
a dream.
Yeah, so that's what it was, and obviously you see it now.
And it looks much, much different now.
Oh,
Definitely a hot
way
rod.
different.
Powered by an OM606.
Yeah, 98
Whoa.
E300 turbo diesel out of a Benz. And then it's about as mechanical of a setup as you can get. No power steering, no wiring, no electronic, no ECU, just a couple cables, and that's it.
Just
a pulley
Fuel,
system.
And I always love busting Bootsy's balls about this. There's no fucking wastegate, no throttle body.
Let's go.
It's just, pinned.
Yeah.
Weld that bitch shut.
It's steered by Mechanical Advantage with the size of that steering wheel for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
You were in it. You
What a
see
monster,
fucking
dude. Yeah, I see those
pu- pu-
forearms, dog.
punching the windshield.
That drive across the country got him going.
I was going to say, we've all gotten to experience the vehicle.
So sick.
For a very short amount of time in comparison to yourself and Kevin.
Sure.
So we won't get into, what it took to build this. We know that was a process, about 2 years, right?
Yeah, just over 2 years. And shout out to, my dad for saying, you got to go get that thing and, helping me out in the beginning on that, getting it. And
Yep.
then, my wife fucking,
My wife.
she knows that I'm going to just, I tell her something that I'm probably going to do it,
Yep.
but this case was a little different because we were getting married in 6 months.
I was gonna
and
say,
we
there's a
just
lot
had
of-
bought our, the white dog Pearl.
Yep.
So Pearl's in the house for 2 days, not, acclimated with the other dogs yet. Milo, the little cattle dog, just wants to fucking kill her. And here I am.
Oh, by the way.
I'm going to North Carolina. And she's like, no, you're not. And I come home with the trailer, and
On a Petey Pablo
she
record.
knew.
Boom.
She was like, what is that?
Hey, I got to do this thing.
And I was like, I'm going to North Carolina. I'll see you in 2 days. It was 1 day, but
Yeah.
yeah. So shout out to her for not fucking strangling me.
So you, over the course of 2 years, you got married, had to plan the wedding, all that sort of stuff. Got this thing built while doing your everyday life, leading up to this moment. What? It's been 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks
Yeah, I think about that.
since you left. Something. Leading up to this moment, did you originally have the intent to drive it across the country?
Yeah, like literally the day I bought it. I've always wanted to drive Route 66.
Yep.
And I don't want to do it in some new car. Like, it doesn't fit the vibe of Route 66. And what I wanted to capture was, something old. I didn't know it would be 1947 old, but
Yeah.
it totally fits exactly what I kind of figured some of Route 66 would be. Obviously, there's still some stuff that's new and, still going. But,
Yeah.
I really wanted to capture the old decaying
Yeah.
crap out there.
Gas stations in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, signage, hotels, whatever it may be. So, me and Kevin just got 600 photos of film back. Shout out to Milford Photo in town. They
go.
developed and they hooked us up with the film and developed it. So, seeing those yesterday was absolutely incredible. Just the look of everything. Like,
Yeah.
me and Kevin are like,
It's
we don't
exactly
even know
what you hoped.
Yeah, 100%.
So how much planning of the route, that sort of stuff, besides the build, how much planning of the route did you require? Or was it just, hey, I'm going to get this thing running?
Pretty much. Yeah, I did some research, but not a ton. Basically, once we got to Chicago, we were talking to people right at the start sign. They're like, "Oh, you should download this app. It pretty much gives you every landmark on the way." They're like, "Unfortunately, you got to pay $20 for the week."
Yeah.
So they really bang you there.
Oh,
But
geez.
it literally
$20
gave you,
for the week.
dude. It was worth it though, because you don't have to Google anything. It's literally giving you by state and by the city, and it's literally going in chronological or of like.
Do you
on
just
the
tell
way.
it your endpoint? Or
Well,
just
I was just
pick-
looking up, certain parts of, what town or whatever, because we were jumping on and off 66, dude. If
Yep.
we did the entire thing on 66 with that, we would be we would need chiropractor, all sorts of medical attention.
So I was
a lot of Route 66 is extremely rough and
Bad,
not,
okay.
not ideal. for
especially for a vehicle of the
Yeah.
sort. Yeah.
But hey, we would hop on and off and cruise through towns and, whatever. But I was really looking for that desolate, rundown vibe.
Yeah, for sure. When did you leave?
Friday, May something. I don't even remember now.
What time of day?
It was probably like 8,
PM?
7 in the morning.
Oh, okay,
Probably around
okay.
then. A little later than we wanted, but, typical, part
Yeah.
of the course.
That's what happens.
Um,
What was the plan for that day?
the plan was to wake up at 4 in the morning and get right on the road. And I woke up at 3:50 and a light bulb went off because the day before Bootsy and the boys down there were aligning it.
Yep.
And they go, you don't have enough room on your tie rods to get this, pretty straight. Like, it's really towed in. So I was like, oh, that's wonderful. So we're driving home from Bootsy to my house, which is 3 miles. And it's never done this before, but it was like just driving
Oh,
straight.
no.
And I was like, oh, man, this is going to be brutal. So when I woke up at 3 in the morning, I remembered that I had an extra tie rod. So Kevin's on the couch sleeping, and I'm in the garage cutting this tie rod off. I disassemble the whole left side of the thing. I weld the other tie rod to the existing, put a piece of angle iron on it, welded it up, got it about as straight as I could because they go, you need about 28 millimeters on both sides to get it, pretty even. So tape measure, did it my best I could, and I mean, it drove straight, so
Yeah,
and it didn't make that crazy noise.
that helps. Right.
So that ate up a little bit of time, and then we were on the way, and we weren't even like 30 minutes into the drive, and we were overheating.
So I was going to ask, where was the first sign of
Connecticut,
Mayday?
Connecticut. Not even I don't even know where. Probably in like New Canaan area.
Yeah.
Was the only place you hit traffic Connecticut?
One of them, yes.
Yeah.
Obviously LA, that area, and I was there in Los Angeles, San Diego area on Memorial Day, so like
Right.
get boned. But not much traffic, to be honest.
I can't imagine the routes
Other
that
than,
you're going to be
other
on.
than the sinkhole in New Jersey, that's rerouting the highway. That was another overheat.
Right. Actually, yeah, they've been actually dealing with those for months now because
the mining towns are collapsing under the highway.
literally
It's pretty nuts.
potential for sinkholes everywhere in the town, shutting down main highways, all that sort of stuff,
Yeah.
routing people all the way around.
Just
So that was
Jersey
fun.
stuff.
Yeah, just exactly. So you guys get in there. Let's talk about, before getting on the road, let's kind of take a backtrack. How much stuff did you bring?
Enough, but not enough. There's no room. So like, I whipped this rack up on the back like a couple days prior, and I had a tote and 2 of our Pelicans, and then we were like, all right, we'll just keep our backpacks and our clothes inside the cab. Well, Kevin's stuff was in his Pelican in the back, and then both of my camera gear was in my Pelican on the back, and then my clothes were inside the cab. So like, if it rains, we're, good, but not much. Normally I bring way more stuff, but as far as tools that you need for that, everything's pretty accessible. So like, I was joking in the lot with you guys before, like majority of the time we're using tools. It was the AN wrench, adjustable, which is somewhere in New Mexico. So if you live out there, you can find it on I-40.
You can keep that.
Yeah. You're welcome. And vice grips. So the AN wrench turned to vice grips.
Yep.
And a flathead screwdriver.
That's pretty wild.
And adjustable. And you can get a lot of stuff done.
Yeah, here's my kit.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I had other tools, obviously, but like 90% of the time we're on the side of the highway or doing whatever we needed to mess around with.
Yep.
Those 3 tools.
And you don't really have to jack it up to get to everything, or it's certain things. But
I think the only time we jacked it up was at the car wash because we hit a dead deer. fuck, dude, I thought I hit the largest pothole. And then Kevin is on, I'm in the, inside the restroom at the gas station. And he comes out, he's like, dude, there's red grease everywhere.
Oh, no.
He goes to the back and he's like, oh no. He's like, that's a deer, dude. I gotta go wash my hands.
Oh, no.
So
Oh my God, I want to go back to the deer. But you started the journey. You're on there, half hour in, coolant saying, I'm too hot.
oh yeah. That was the beginning
What
of,
was the
now after the whole trip we know it's getting airlocked and we're on the road and I'm excited. So fucking any chance I get, I'm in boost. And with the problems that I'm having, it doesn't like to do that. So I just drove here. I got into it a couple times.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I just was like,
If you stay tame.
if you just stay tame and you're cool, like it'll do what it needs to do. It's obviously not correct.
Yep.
But we didn't know that. So, we'd pour more coolant in it and then we get on the highway and be like, and we both be cheesing and then all of a sudden, spraying out.
Yeah.
So that was, it took us a couple days to really dial in, what we needed to do.
How?
Like a couple days, meaning like Oklahoma, like 5, 6.
Jesus, dude. You get on the road. How far did you make it the first day? Or what was the plan? Were you just going to drive until like, hey, I'm too tired, I'm going to crash for a little bit?
Goal, well, the first day, literal goal was to get to Chicago. And it took us 2 days to get to Chicago.
You get a hot dog out there?
No, I hate hot dogs.
What?
Fuck off.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Holes
Well,
in the story.
It's been a good episode, guys.
So yeah, didn't, major shortage of our goal of Chicago on day one.
Mm-hmm.
We made it just into Pennsylvania by the end of day one,
Pennsylvania.
which is like
Trash.
about hour and a half drive,
Yeah.
So
It's not.
Yeah, not super
second
far.
major problem. And leading up to this, a lot of people give me shit around, just friends and whatever, for going out and beating the fucking shit out of it back home beforehand. And I knew I was taking this thing across country. I want to know what's going to break.
Right.
And last year I joked with Chris Cluel that if I was going to do, a rally, I was going to bring a generator and a welder because I'd probably break something of that sort. And lo and behold, here we are in New Jersey, cruising along, 287, I think. And this was one of the 3 major bumps that we hit, like bad. Like we might be ending our trip loud.
Yep.
So we hit this and then I'm like, all right, let's just get off the highway, get to a Home Depot, hit the speed bump and it's going over. Obviously I'm going to hit it because it's only 1.5 inches off the floor, and it is loud. I'm like, damn, that was bad. Second speed bump. Bang. Loud. Pull up. Kevin gets out. He's like, the car's on the ground? Yeah, I know it's on the ground.
That's how I built it.
And I didn't realize he meant it literally. The front is straight up. The frame is on the floor. So
Oh,
my
no.
strut towers, the welds ripped out of the frame rail, and they cambered in. So now we're straight up on the floor with broken strut towers. And I'm like, I knew it was fixable, but like how
Right.
how am I going to find a welder like
the current scenario
yeah.
of,
So I'm at Home Depot in a lot. Storms are brewing, and I buy this umbrella, like patio umbrella, because I thought we'd be fucking around with it in the rain. And I come back out, and Kevin's like, this guy said he'll take us in. Older, 75-year-old guy, doesn't work on Fridays. Kevin told him we're driving it to California in a hot rod, and he's like, I'll be at my shop in 5 minutes. Kevin's like, it's going to take me a little longer than 5 minutes because we're on the floor. So normally I'm the one that goes, fuck it, whatever. Like if it breaks, it breaks. Like we'll just figure it out. But this dude's shop was 4 miles, and it was basically on a main road. And New Jersey with their stupid jug handles and all this bullshit.
Yeah.
So here here I am on like this main highway thing that's, 50, 45 mile an hour road in the breakdown lane going 3 miles per hour or so, just
Oh, no,
for
dude.
4 miles.
It's a good thing that diesel motor's torquey.
Well, thank God I put that skid plate on for the day before we left, because that probably would have been the end of it.
Yeah.
There.
Rub through.
So we get to this dude's shop, and he's hard-headed guy from New Jersey, probably seen some shit, and I can't tell if he's joking or not joking, whatever. He's like, I got an appointment at 1. or he had something to do. And he's like, nah, I'll give you till 1:03. And we had like an hour. So I'm over here, fucking rat race. And then he's like, I don't really need to go. I don't have nothing to do. So he like did have plans, but he's like, I don't care. Like, I'll stay.
Yeah.
So we're there. And then he goes, where's your welding helmet? It's at home. Guess you're not fucking welding. So then he welded the whole thing. He's like, do you care what it looks like? I mean, I do, but no. I'm trying to get where I'm going. I gotta fix this shit later.
Yeah.
So he cut all these pieces, welded them all in. And, yeah, John took care of us. And he goes, give me what you want. So I tried to throw him 100, and he fucking handed like half back.
Yeah.
I was
Good
like,
Lord.
all right, well, you know.
That's such
So
a
I called him like a couple days after I got back, and I told him that we had made it, and he's like, I was just thinking about you guys.
that's
So I
awesome.
said, I got some stuff I'm going to send you, so you getting some stuff in the mail. So we have these sick fucking film photos of him welding in the shop.
That's
and,
super cool. Yeah.
Obviously some phone stuff and whatever. But so that was person number 1 on the trip. That was just fucking rad person to meet.
Right,
Great
just,
stories.
again,
Wanted to
just-
help.
The circumstance was there, like the absolute best person to run into.
Yeah. So, and there was other people in the Home Depot parking lot that wanted to help, but they're like, I'm at work, so
Yeah.
get fucked.
Yeah,
Right
and
now.
they don't have a shop or
Yeah.
welding skills.
How did
and-
Kevin find him?
He just was searching online, like welding
Welders?
places. Yeah, and
shit.
you know, everything aligned there.
That's amazing.
So we're back on the road into the sinkhole traffic, overheating again, and then I'm like, man, maybe this little rinky-dink overflow I just put on the day before isn't working, or doing some research. So we get a bigger overflow, like just a universal plastic shit one. I'm sure you guys saw it out there.
Yeah, one you can
And
fix somewhere.
Throw the instructions out immediately. Don't look to see if there's fucking a breather hole in there.
Love
and yeah, I found out about 10 miles on the highway that you need to put a breather hole in because it doubles as a windshield washer reservoir also
no.
if you want it to do that. So we're on the highway just and then all of a sudden steam like you've never seen before.
Made a
The
breather hole.
No, the engine, the one on the front of the block.
Oh, no!
pops. So it's steaming in the car. I can't see anything. I pull over immediately, and this dude, now we know is Patio Bob, backing down the highway. He gets out, and he's like, "What is this thing? I thought you blew a tire. I gotta go to a meeting, but if you're here in like 2 hours, I got you with the trailer or whatever you need." So that was guy number 2, super accommodating. He randomly found us at a gas station. We accidentally went back east like 10 miles on one of those stupid 10-mile long exits out
Yeah.
there. And he also took a wrong turn and ended up at the same gas station like 4 hours later. And then we chatted and exchanged numbers and whatever. And then I, texted him when we made it to California. And yeah, that's person number 2.
Patio Bob.
Patio Bob.
Patio.
Dude.
So you turned this overflow into a fucking grenade.
Pretty much.
It just blew the lid off.
Dude, yeah, this is probably one of the
Yosemite.
scariest moments of driving because it's hot steam.
Right.
There's holes in the firewall. There's holes in the cab. Obviously, the windows or the cab is tapered this way, so like the steam's coming directly in the window. Not a good situation. Luckily, there was not many people on the highway, but like that could have been terrible,
Yeah. Yeah.
like real bad.
Right. Especially if
know.
surrounded by people, bunch
Yeah.
of different ways it
Yeah.
could have went bad.
Yeah. So that was disaster number 2. So we got a little bit farther into PA, and then that's when we're like, all right, dude, we gotta call it. We're on the road for like 14 hours, and we've gotten 100 miles. Not great. Not a great start, but the hopes were still high. So day 2 comes around. We're cruising along. We want to get to Chicago, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have more cooling issues. I realize the fan's not kicking on anymore. And we're at like a gas station, 6 in the morning. I'm fucking with the wiring seats out, like the whole thing. And this guy pulls up. He's like, what's going on with you guys? You need anything? And yeah, I mean, could use some stuff, but nothing's open right now. He's I'll go home and get my work truck. Leaves for 10 minutes, comes back with a work truck. Has every electrical piece you could ever imagine. So he's there sitting on. He's like, it's a sun. I think it was it's Saturday. It's a Saturday. So me and Kevin are like, does no one work? We don't realize. We're not thinking. We're
Right,
already
right.
in vacation mode. And so he's there for like 3 hours helping us. Trying to get everything situated. Got it on a manual switch. Well, I put it on a switch that I had, and it didn't have enough power. So then he goes to a store once they open at like 9 o'clock, gets a switch, and And then he comes back. He's like, whatever was left out of this 50 is for you guys on the road.
Yeah.
So that was
That's
that
sick.
dude, Alex. Shout out to that guy. He was fucking rad. Yeah, they were just on our way.
That's
That
three
was-
separate people in the first 2 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then later that evening, we were driving on and off all day, and pull over at a rest stop in Ohio. It's probably like 11 o'clock, and just battling with cooling all day.
Mhm.
The cooling thing could get monotonous, but
Was it no matter where you drove, or was it mainly highway based while you're trying to soak up the miles?
what the
The,
cooling?
the cooling issue.
No, it's just me being an idiot getting into Boost and not knowing that was the major cause of it, and not taking the thermostat out. Like,
Yeah.
we think that's the issue, but obviously into the trip more, we just knew if we wanted to lay down some miles or just do whatever, don't fucking hammer on it.
Right.
So we're in a rest stop, and I'm like, dude, we're 3 hours out from Chicago. There's no way we're getting a hotel.
Get that thing nice and
Oh, my
close.
bad.
Yeah.
We're not getting a hotel. We're gonna knock out right here for a couple hours.
Yep.
I know it sucks, but
All right. So 3 hours from Chicago. Any idea where?
somewhere in Ohio, right, relatively close to the line, I think.
Okay.
Might be wrong on that.
You just
I don't
pick
know.
like a rest area or truly
yeah,
silent?
rest area on the side of the highway. Excuse me, and I knock out pretty quick. I did all the driving on this trip. Kevin drove about 4 miles when I was
Yep.
flying the drone. So shout out, Kev.
Big shouts.
But yeah, I wake up and I look back, and here comes a state trooper, and I'm like, fuck, here we go. Lo and behold, dude is super rad. He just wanted to know about it. He just pulls this video up. He's like, I already circled around you. I filmed you guys. You're on my TikTok.
It's ridiculous.
What are we paying these guys for, dude?
So,
Doing TikTok.
Well,
Yeah.
not that much if he's got to worry about his
Hey,
TikTok.
so yeah, we were chatting with him for a while, and went on our way and got closer to Chicago. Pulled off at a rest area, still pretty early in the morning, like 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know if you saw that video of those two. It was a father and his son looking at the truck, and I dubbed that Ed Bassmaster over
Yes,
it. And it
actually,
couldn't have been
yeah.
any more perfect. And we
Yeah.
showed these guys, and they were fucking dying. Like, the dad didn't know about the video, but the kid was like, he's probably like 40,
Yeah.
in tears. Like, so that was good. And then we got to Chicago, and that was the start of the actual trip.
Yeah.
In our eyes, it took 48 hours to do it. So we're filming there, and then I don't know what happened. I still haven't looked into this, but we're filming under the sign, and then I had the car running. And then Kevin had turned it off, and Kevin goes, there's a giant puddle of oil under your car? And I'm like, no. So my heart's now racing. I'm looking for oil lines in the street, whatever. And he looks down on the ground, and he's like, dude, there's a washer on the ground.
Crush
Said,
washer.
Crush washer. And I'm looking around, and then there's like a drain plug bolt. And it's not from the oil pan. It came out of the injection pump. So I don't know why there's oil in the injection pump. I haven't looked into that because, to my knowledge, they don't mix. They're not supposed to mix. So anyway, put that back on, tightened it up, and we're on our way. And there's a video of me, talking and, whatever. And in the beginning of the video, there's no oil on the ground. And then like 15 seconds later, you can see the
dude.
sheen under the ground.
No.
So the luck there,
It would have been with the AN wrench.
that would have been the end of the trip. Totally. If it happened 10 minutes earlier, 10 minutes later, like, we wouldn't have caught that,
Right,
whatever.
right.
Or
It
maybe,
just-
I don't know if there should be oil in there or not, but to my knowledge, not good. Got out of Chicago. A lot of tourists, obviously, were right in downtown. And
Yeah. Especially at that.
got some reactions Sunday, midday, talking with all sorts of people. And here's another people on Route 66 because they're starting the route also. And we tell them about the trip. And we never solicited anybody for money. We weren't like, on
Right,
the side of the
right,
road, but telling these people what we're doing. And they're like, here's $20 for the road.
That's super cool.
Go buy a drink or whatever you want to do with it. And,
Yeah.
Dude, it happened a lot across
I
the way.
feel like a lot of people want to be part of it. And in some way, that's how they feel like they're part of it.
Yeah,
It's just,
so-
this is so cool. Let's help
And
these
I've
guys
obviously done a ton of cross-country drives in other cars, and the Harlequin stands out too, but I've never been in a vehicle that any age, any race, whatever you want to call it, are just interested and want to chat, tell stories about, what they got going on or what are you doing. And it was really a humbling experience for all the love that people put out there.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I don't think Missouri, so Illinois, down into Missouri, hit St. Louis. Right before we hit St. Louis, I was like, let's just take some shots at this little tower thing, whatever, and then we'll go into the town. Kevin's taking a piss, and then all of a sudden he's walking back, and this dude jumps out of the bush. I'm like, where the fuck did this dude come from? So this younger dude, and he's like, we come over here to place our bets because it's illegal in Missouri, so they go right over the line into Illinois. And he's all hyped up about the truck. Yeah. He's
in a bush?
Well, you just got to go over the line.
What the fuck?
But anyway, he comes over. He's all hyped up about the truck and total stranger, and we're chatting. You can just tell he's down to earth, dude. I'm like, you want to go for a rip? So we get the GoPro set up and we go for a rip, like third gear pull. This dude's wigging out. Like he's all hyped up. It was sick. Shout out Reg. It's fucking hysterical. But yeah,
drop him off at the bush.
Yeah.
Back over the state line. At the
Back at the
bush.
Get back.
Yeah. Yeah, into Missouri, St. Louis. Obviously, we wanted the arch, but Kevin and I just stumbled upon some old, industrial decaying area and shot down there for a bit.
Yep.
So that was cool. And then kind of pressed on farther down the road, on and off 66.
Were you filming like talking head stuff as you were doing all this, like video wise?
Yeah, we're filming stuff. Not too, I wouldn't say like a ton of talking. Sometimes we were. Depends. Dude, just with no camera crew.
Oh,
like the amount of gear that we had with us was enough, and just taking inventory every time you get in the car.
Right.
So certain places we wouldn't do stuff just because it's just like too much.
Yep.
But yeah, into Missouri, and then there's a storm a brewing, and there's one of the guys we met on the Overcrest rally, and he's like, dude, there's like tornado warning. Watch, like it's pretty gnarly down here. So he's like, if you can make it down to my house. So we hopped on I-40 and we were just gunning to get to him. And it started raining right by the time we got to his house. And the storm like split right around where he was, but there was like 5 or 6 confirmed tornadoes within a 30-minute distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, gnarly. I don't know how these people fucking live out there.
Dude, it's crazy.
Like, it's normal. Just get in the shelter.
You talk about gambling. You're gambling with your
Every
fucking
day.
everything
Like,
every day. Yeah.
I know a lot of us complain about the Northeast and, how shitty it is, but we're pretty fortunate about the weather.
I've said that to my kids like a handful of times, like, hey, at least we don't get tornadoes. We really don't have to worry.
You get
wanna
a little
move to Tornado
microburst or
Island?
something, but yeah, dude, they're fucking out of their
Bro,
minds.
it is so savage. Imagine being killed by wind.
The worst, dude.
Just real strong wind.
God just blowing you out.
It's the wind that'll
Getting
get you.
snuffed.
Get snuffed out by the Lord.
It's not
man.
good.
You
It's
hate
not
to
good.
see it.
You're like a birthday candle.
Reggie. Yeah, that was that, and then got pretty much out of Missouri right into Oklahoma. And this is where, I've never been to Oklahoma. And obviously the only thing I really know about Oklahoma is Tiger King. So that's all I got. That's all I have in my head.
Fairly good overview of
That
Oklahoma.
and, the unfortunate event.
The bombing way back
I
when.
watched
Right.
that documentary. Those are the only two things I literally know about Oklahoma. I didn't research anything.
Hell of a state.
And we're on the highway. That was probably one of the hotter days leading up to the desert.
Yeah.
And we're on the highway in a little bit of traffic, and I'm like, dude, we're about to really overheat. It's like 210. I don't want it to get any hotter. Pull off the highway, and there's another person on the Overcrest rally that is in that area, and Kevin was messaging her, and lo and behold, I pull off this exit, and he gets the address from her 2 blocks off the highway.
No
That's
way.
crazy.
Insane. So we meet up with her. She gets our lunch, drinks, and then we get back on the road again. And I'm like, dude, let's just get off, drive some 66 now. So now we're on 66.
At that point, were you feeling pretty comfortable and confident in, like, all right, we ran into all this other crap, right?
I knew the cooling was just never going to stop.
Yeah.
I just knew it was going to be part of the whole trip. And it sucked. Like,
Yeah,
it's
just having that over your
misery,
head, right?
You know? And like knowing you're just blowing money on coolant, and then in the beginning I was getting good stuff, and then by the end of it, I'm at Walmart fucking getting
Water.
concentrate, and no, but water was boiling off too quick.
Okay.
I already tried that.
Yeah.
That one didn't work out,
I
Yeah.
thought it was supposed to have a higher boiling point.
dude. It would not good.
It's just roast.
Yeah, not good.
Well, water boils at 165.
Oh well, yeah. That's true. I think if it's not like sealed properly, the boiling point is lower. So if the cooling system's sealed properly, the boiling point's higher.
Yeah, I don't know all the math on that one, but I could tell you it did
Yeah.
not like
It
straight
was-
water.
it
'Cause
was
I was
exiting
like,
the chat.
$4 gallons over 20,
And the
30.
other thing too, it's not like you can grab. You know what? I'm going to grab 10 gallons. We're going to be covered for the rest of the
no
day. You
room.
can't even put them anywhere, dude.
You're just hanging them out the back like buoys.
Dude, it's brutal.
Roping them to the side of the bow.
Looks like the fucking orca.
So yeah, we're on 66, and my buddy
Got a nerd alert in the chat.
Billy Macca goes, "Hey, I got this guy I know down in Oklahoma. I met him in an air show last year. Don't really know him well. Just met him, cool guy, whatever. Shot the shit, had some drinks with him, and that was that. And they've just kept in touch. So he had texted him about this dude, and I text the guy. I'm like, hey, we're an hour out, and we're on this gravel road that's 66.
Yep.
And I'm there cruising. I don't know. Kevin might have been snoozing at this point, and then it
by snoozing, you mean bobbling his head.
Yeah, yeah. But he definitely woke up, and if I remember this correctly, he was sleeping, and we're on this gravel bumpy road going like 10 miles an hour, and it's graded amazing. And he's like, how much more of this? I'm like, I don't know, it says 4 miles. So we literally come up this crest, and it goes from nice graded to like rocks, and then the car dies.
Oh boy.
And I instantly knew. It was like, guarantee you that ignition wire's fucked up. What
The
we had
one that
today.
yes.
And I was like, yo, grab that wire out of the back. I connected. I cut that wire. I was like, I know for a fact this is it. I was super confident, and I was right.
Yeah.
Clip it, butt connector that, get these little needle nose vice grips right to the positive. I was like, start it right up. All right, we're on our way. So that's, it's connected to a terminal now, but that wire's still like that. I didn't fix the underneath, and I did try to do it when we did end up getting to that guy's place.
Yep.
But it had continuity, so I was like, perfect. But it must not have enough, wires left.
Right. It's just
So
hanging.
I
on
wired
by
it all back up
literally a
all
thread.
nicely as I could do in a short period of time, and then the next morning I go to turn it, and it's just click.
Yeah.
So then it was back to ghetto
Yeah.
red wire.
Whatever I
through the
can
cab.
Connect.
Whatever,
and-
I don't care.
yeah.
But yeah, so we meet up with this guy. We eat dinner with him, and then I already knew some stuff about the guy, and he's just like, it's getting late. If you guys want a place to stay, you're more than welcome to stay at my place. I have an airplane hangar. You could just sleep in the hangar if you want. Airplane hangar, all right. That
Guy's
sounds
got
cool.
money, dude.
At that point, did that sound like a luxury of like you? Yeah.
I mean, he told us, it's not like there's not like it's not outfitted to sleep in. But
Yeah,
he's like,
yeah,
we can
for
pull
sure.
the mattresses in there. If you need to use the bathroom, you gotta go in the house. But I was like,
Just
When
use
am
the
I-
bathroom in
I
the
was like,
757.
when else am I gonna get to sleep in a fucking airplane hangar randomly? I don't know. It's
Right,
just like one
right.
of those like just happens. Just do it.
Yeah.
So I'm in the back of some truck. Kevin knows the model, and Kevin's on a utility trailer sleeping on the mat. And
Yeah.
then the next morning, the dude wakes us up 6 a.m. Coffee, watch the sunrise over the airstrip.
Come on.
Oh, that
and
sounds
then he's
awesome.
like, "Oh, there's our orphaned pet squirrel, so that thing's running around."
Right. Actually, yes, it was
so
crawling all over the place.
Shout
Yeah.
out to Jamie and Deb; they were fucking rad.
That's
They're
awesome.
rad.
Dude lives in a cartoon.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, that's sick. What's going on here?
It's out there
Yeah,
doing airplane
so-
stuff.
yeah, that's
Airplane,
cool.
pet
And
squirrel.
the
Come on.
breakfast, like
Yeah. Just
they're like,
just
if you don't want to leave, you can just hang out here. Like,
yeah.
super accommodating people, great. So shout out to them, and Billy Macca for hooking us up with that connect. 'cause
Getting it
it's-
sorted. Yeah.
Yeah. After Oklahoma, I think we got into Texas relatively quickly. I don't remember where that dude lived, but got into Texas in the morning. So I don't know if we drove all night. I think we got a hotel right on the border of Texas, and then when we woke up in Texas, it was sunrise.
Yep.
and that's where we're shooting with this big old leaning tower in Britain, Texas. It was fucking sick. Kevin's up on I-40 shooting down,
Yeah.
and then I go under this bridge and I see this dirt lot, and he's just waiting for me to come back by, and I'm ripping by, and I see this dirt lot. I'm like, damn, that shit looks nice. So I'm over there doing donuts while he's just waiting on the side of I-40.
Yeah. He has no idea this is
No.
happening.
And then I come back, I'm like, dude, there's this insane lot. He's like, oh, I heard you. So we load our shit up and go over there, and he sees the lot, and he's like, this is not nice. It's fucking filled with the rocks. And like,
Terrible.
he's got this sick photo, and there's just literally chunky rocks just
Yeah,
flying.
that's
a- it's
a great
sunrise.
photo.
It's one of
Yeah.
my favorite photos so far. That he's shot a ton of stuff. So I told him post slow. This
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
He
yeah.
normally likes to just all at once.
Banging out there.
It's
How
hard not to when you
how
get fire.
did what was the drive at night like? And I mean,
Terrible.
And
And
this is-
in the moment, I was telling Kevin I could see great. I definitely couldn't see great.
He's like, can you see her like this? Yeah,
Like-
yeah.
he was just trying to reassure him.
When there was nobody on the road, you could see perfectly fine. But when there's lights coming at us, you saw the windshield.
Yeah,
I
dude.
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
When the sunlight's hitting it, there's a clip of us. I think we're in New Mexico, and I'm holding up this paper, which was a folder of the original photo. And the GoPro footage looks like we're fucking pissed and we don't want to talk at each other because I'm trying to block the sun out.
Yeah.
And I don't have visors. I just have the visor on there. But dude, at that point when we were there, I was like, we got to a certain point. He's like, "Can you see?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I could see." Can't see anything. Then we finally pull over, and dude, it's bad. We had to wait for the sun to set, enough.
Right, just to
get back on the road. But yeah, dude, nighttime was brutal.
And how like
And the plan on the trip was literally to never drive at night. But then you
got
see
set behind.
It's set behind, and then you see the temperatures in some of these places, and you have cooling problems.
right.
There's
It's
no
the better.
choice.
Yeah.
There's literally no choice. I'm not going into the desert at 110 degrees when I have no air conditioning, for one, and my car has cooling
It's
problems.
literally
Yes,
boiling
no,
it
that's
all
that's
off.
a Formula 2 die.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we have the
Absolutely not,
umbrella
dude.
from Home Depot, but like, all the water is in the coolant jug.
That's only so much
you know,
coverage. And what about a long stint? What was a long stint? In other words, was, hey man, we just went for 6 hours straight.
I think probably like 4 or 5 maybe would
Okay.
be, pretty long stints. But dude, the days were anywhere minimum of a 12-hour day.
Yeah.
12 to 16 on the average day, sometimes 20.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're sleeping for 2-3 hours.
Yeah,
and
and
then,
just pushing
at least
through.
I am, and then he's back in the seat and just
Just
fucking
like,
snoozing,
dude, he's back in the
So-
seat getting shorter.
Back in the ladies' boy, dude,
Yeah.
compressing his spine a
You
little
know,
bit.
did you have any
I
way
heard
to
he's
count-
5'9" now. He's shrimping.
So my dad's wife Libby calls the local radio station too when we were in Texas.
Yes.
So there's all these clips. I don't know if I sent you the interview. You gotta listen to it.
I seen the little bit that you posted. It's maybe 30 seconds to a minute.
So she really excited about it. Whatever, and as we all are excited on it. And she calls the radio station, and she doesn't have all her facts straight. So she's she's telling them that I'm in a concrete truck.
Oh no! Oh no!
And it's propane powered.
Love that.
Where did that come from, dude?
We're running Blue Rhino across the country.
And then, they're talking about Kevin 11, and the ladies, the people on the radio show are like, Kevin 11, that's the funniest nickname I've ever heard. And then she's like, yeah, he's in the car crumpled up like a giraffe. So everyone's roasting Kev. I felt bad, but the running joke with Dan Crosley is like this dude fucking sleeps immediately when he gets in a vehicle. And I was pretty sure he wasn't gonna be able to figure this one out because it's just not comfortable. He can't recline, but he figured out the move of just fucking
Right. It just
He's falling into himself.
broken neck.
just folding yourself in half.
Let the
That's-
vibration
Oh my
soothe
God.
you.
So, how are the fumes?
Perfect on my side.
So that's
he
the
didn't
thing.
tell me though. So the whole
Did
time
Kevin sleep so much because he was just fucking inhaling the diesel?
it was
dude?
definitely. He'll tell you it was 1,000% worse in the Harlequin last.
Okay, okay.
in
No,
Arkansas.
that's good
That
to
shit
know.
Was
Yeah.
brutal,
They're
dude.
fine if you ain't a bitch.
Oh my god, it was bad.
Because I mean and we'll post more photos and things like that for those who haven't seen. But the stack, if you will, it exits a mere, I don't know, 8 to 12 inches from the passenger's forehead.
Yeah,
basically.
And when we left, the cab was red and discolored, whatever. It's not black.
It's
Yeah.
It
It wasn't
shows.
too bad in the 5 minutes I went for a ride in it, so I'm sure it's fine.
So that's what I thought too.
Yeah. So he says you get it. Yeah. I mean, I was never over there, and on top of that, when we're in the car, we're not talking. We have headphones or earplugs in the entire time.
So that's what I was kind of.
So you're on the road trip with somebody, but there's pretty much zero communication. So like anytime you want to talk, you're like,
Hand
take them
signals.
out. Yeah, it sucks. It's like
And you're
right when
basically-
you put them back in, the other person trying to talk.
And you
You're like,
scream at each other.
I was gonna say you're basically yelling at that point too, just because it's.
Oh yeah. Dude, it's rattly. It's certain RPMs. The vibration is just rattling like nobody's business. And out in Santa Monica, Long Beach, whatever, out there, Dobbins was doing that interview thing.
Yep.
And shout out to him for doing that. But the first go at it, he can't hear us at all. So we're having like a one-sided conversation. So me and Kevin talk. He'll ask a question, and then we finish talking, and we're looking at each other like, what does he want to talk about?
No fucking.
Yeah, so then we get to a stoplight, and I got to put my foot on the clutch because the chatter is loud, even at idle, or turn it off. And he's like, I didn't hear one word you were saying. And he goes, I'm not going to lie, I was making faces like I could see. So when he plays the video,
Right. So
they think we're reacting. It's going to be like that dubbed over
amazing, dude.
Japanese show.
oh
Yeah,
my
just dub the
god,
whole
but
thing.
just with his face reactions.
it's like a Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
So you're in Texas
Yeah, in Texas.
on the radio station.
I wasn't on the radio station that day. So my dad's wife is texting me like, you got to call him. And not that I didn't want to call him. We just have this epic sunrise in front of us.
Right,
And,
you don't wanna
as
lose that.
photographers, that's all we want every day is to shoot sunrise, sunset. And,
Yep.
Throughout the trip, Kevin's like, the lighting sucks here. Well, I can't help you.
It's
with
1
that.
o'clock in the middle of the
like,
desert.
you got to
Yeah.
shoot. I don't know what to tell you. But, the sunrise was epic. So we were just eating it up down there. And, once that was done, we pressed on. I really wanted to see Cadillac Ranch. Fucking lamest shit ever.
I heard it was real dirty, like
Well,
gross.
It was terrible. Like, I thought you could drive right up to it.
Yeah, you got to
So,
walk down.
Yeah, walk. I wanted the picture of the car right next to
Right,
it.
right,
not
right.
Fucking walk down. So that was probably the most touristy thing we did.
Yep.
And then, spray painting in the road and shit. But yeah, after that, we hightailed it out of Texas.
Yep.
And then into fucking New Mexico. I'm sorry if anybody of you live out there. What a hellhole of a state.
And this is coming from somebody who lives in Connecticut,
Oh, yeah.
in
Whoa.
New England.
Oh, yeah.
A beautiful state.
Oh, geez.
I haven't seen the whole thing. I've driven through, and we were stuck there. So we were talking to some locals. There's some great people out there, but I thought Indiana's roads were bad, and certain parts of the country.
Yep.
I've traveled a good amount of the United States in relatively low cars.
I was gonna say you've put some miles in.
Like 25,000 in the Harlequin over the past couple of years, all over.
Yeah.
And
You go to Albuquerque?
New Mexico, we went straight through it.
Let's say
Didn't stop.
It's not better.
No. Yeah. People when we pull off, they
I mean,
would see it.
there's a reason a show was made of meth
Dude,
in,
it's
in
a-
Albuquerque.
it's a
just,
sketchy
It's
town.
dirty. The whole highway is just filled with garbage. Like right when you cross the line into Arizona, that's like, damn, they care about shit here. But the locals in New Mexico that we talked to at a gas station, wherever you may have it, they were like, you need to drive in the left lane if you're on I-40. Do not drive in the right lane. They're like, you will pop tires. And the only saving grace of, us not popping a tire, so obviously some of that is luck, is the wide wheels.
Yep.
Because, dude, the amount of tires that are on the side of the road in New Mexico, the potholes there are like, you could fit a 12 rack of beer in them, like flush.
What the hell? Why?
Bad.
I wonder why they're so bad.
Dude, terrible. There's just no money out there. I don't know who's telling us. They're like, their government is, obviously the whole government here is corrupt, and we don't need to get into that. But
Yeah.
they're like, New Mexico's really bad.
Even worse. So
Yeah.
than
Worse
the
than
rest.
here?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That's impressive.
That's crazy.
You can tell.
Maybe government corruption is
Is-
inversely related to potholes.
Yes.
Because we're pretty good at potholes out here
yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Well, obviously in the East Coast with frost heaves and all that type of stuff, and I don't know much
True.
about
Actually,
Mexico
it's-
and how cold it gets out there.
It gets
I
pretty
know
fucking
I know it
cold,
gets
yeah.
cold, but like does it do the fluctuation like we get here?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. It's desert.
Snows at altitude, but
yeah,
otherwise,
I don't know that much about New Mexico other than I never thought we were going to get out of there. And then, so we pull off to this Whiting sign thing. It's super cool, like, abandoned sign. And, we're shooting. I'm like, oh, let's knock out a whole roll of film here. It's a cool spot. Middle of the day, but whatever. And then Kevin's like, dude, the firewall is covered in oil. And I didn't want to believe it. I was like, that's coolant. He's like, it's not coolant.
we don't talk about oil in this car.
Yeah. And then he wipes the firewall and he shows me, and I was like, uh-oh, that's oil. So the factory weld on, the oil cooler where the AN is in the cooler decided to start leaking.
Yep.
And, we finally figure out where it's leaking from, take it out, clean it all off, JB weld it, let it sit for a while, fire it right back up. It's still got a tiny leak, and I'm like, all right, we only got to go a couple miles, whatever, 10 miles. Get on the highway, we're about 1 mile in. Oil everywhere.
Oh, no.
The intake manifold or the pockets filled with oil.
Oh,
Like the whole
God.
block filled with oil. Wherever it could go. Inside the injection pump housing, all of that filled with oil. Windshield covered in oil. There's a photo that we posted the other day. Oil all over the hood. So it was just getting in the belt, and the belt's humming it all over
Flinging
the
it.
place. So then we're on the side of the highway and not the best area, and then it clicks. I could just loop the oil filter housing with the AN lines. So they both got AN ports.
Yep.
So I took one and just looped it. And I was like, we don't have to go far enough where the temps are going to get hot. So we did that, and then, had to succumb to a little fucking pansy Ford Ranger Universal oil cooler, and rigged that all up and, got back on the road. I literally never thought we were going to get out of there. It was a hot day, and, we don't ever get agitated with each other, and that was the day. Out of all the traveling ever that we've done over the last 12 plus years,
Yep.
all sorts of shenanigans, blown, motors, fucking all this stuff, that day was, you could tell. Like, we weren't mad at each other. It was
Yeah,
just
yeah, it was just the
super hot.
scenario.
The scenario it was not good. But once we got out of New Mexico, it was like a relief.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
were like, we don't ever have to go back here.
I mean, it just shows how upsetting those roads can be.
so bad, bro.
Just, dude, like,
so bad.
how long do you think you were in New Mexico? The drive in particular.
I don't know how long it's supposed to take you to get across I-40, and obviously we were on and off 66 in some parts.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe like 6 hours,
Okay.
and it was an entire day from 5 or 4 in the morning, probably 5 in the morning till like 11 at night,
Oh, wow. Okay.
all day.
Yeah, that's a stretch of a day.
And then you get to a hotel and you got to unload the whole truck, and
Right.
we're right over the line in Arizona. Got 4 hours of sleep or so.
Yep.
And then back to the grind.
So how obviously you get to shower and stuff pretty regularly.
Yeah,
Hotels, whatnot.
A lot of
It would
coffee?
be like, a lot of coffee, and then I don't normally drink Red Bull, but at the end of the trip, like there were certain stints where I was like, coffee ain't gonna do it. So
Yeah.
I'd buy 2 Red Bulls, drink one extremely fast. Like it'd be coffee, Red Bull fast, another Red Bull as I'm going, and then I'd get through the night and
Yep.
whatever. But
Into Arizona.
Arizona, one of the best times of the whole trip.
Smooth roads.
Great roads, mountains. It was cooler. Flagstaff, I thought was gonna be super cool. At least the mountains were cool, but the whole town was like just sad. Just people with drugs, and that you could see it was just kind of overrun by that.
Yep.
So we're like, let's get the fuck out of here. Back on the highway, and then a bunch of people had recommended Oatman, and my mom especially. She's like, this town is incredible. She watched a bunch of YouTube videos on it, and so that's where we were headed. And Oatman was fucking sick. You come up over this mountain pass. It's like 4,000 feet or so. And ironically, at that point, the car's running the best it's ever run, and it's one of the hottest days. Not making any sense.
Yeah.
So we have the temp gun. I'm temp gunning the head. Good. Like normally when we were stopped, we'd shut it off. It's running for a while. And we come up over this mountain pass. Absolutely sick. If you guys ever are out that way, that is the spot. Come up over it, and then the view is insane. Kevin has one of the probably my favorite photos he's ever taken. Just this mountain range, S-curved road. Like it's got all the layers of the mountains in the back.
Yeah.
Sick photo.
Just a picturesque.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
Doesn't even need my car in it at
Yeah,
all.
yeah,
It's
just the spot itself.
The spot is like sick. So then we're coming back we cruise down into there, and then all of a sudden, boom, a burro is out in the road just chilling. And like I don't know if it's gonna chomp me or not. So like I'm driving by and it's coming up to the window, and I'm like so apparently they're friendly, but Kevin, I think, asked the lady, and she's like, "Oh yeah, they've bit a bunch of people too, though." So like, yeah, I'm not
What the fuck is a burro?
A donkey.
Oh,
I didn't know what it was.
fucking ass.
Yeah.
You
So, yeah, we
sent
hung out.
me.
We
You sent me a very. Let's just say the burro was very excited to see the boys.
Oh no.
like really excited.
Oh,
Hey,
my God.
fucko, we call it interspecies erotica.
We're a whole community.
totally fucked up here, but I screenshotted that video or the photo and I sent it to JR. I said, "You got a lot of competition out here."
Oh no, dude.
He texts me back at like 5:50 in the morning. He's like, "What a thing to wake up to."
Oh my
so
god,
good.
dude. Oh my
Oh,
god.
crying. Love you, JR. Oh my god.
Big Show's JR.
Fucking dude. Yeah. It's just crazy. They're just walking around with their things.
It's
Flying,
fucking
dude.
Just wielding them, dude.
like a fucking sword.
But yeah, we hung out in Oatman for a minute. It's just a super old western town. Sick.
Right,
There's
everything
nothing
was
open. Everything's closed.
Run down and dry
Well,
and like
things were open, but it was Sunday evening, and we're in the middle of nowhere, so there's literally one store open.
okay, yeah.
Well, yeah, the photos we got there were cool, and then leaving the town, and by that time you're relatively close to the California border.
Yep.
So we hung around there for a little bit. I'm still freaking out about the gauge. The car's running, the temp were good, but the gauge was reading way low. So like.
Almost like it didn't make sense.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah.
I don't know. We're texting people, and they're like, maybe the density of the air or whatever the fuck. I don't know. But anyway,
True.
I have no idea about that. But I just every couple miles was getting out and temp gunning.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, at that point, right? You're full anxiety too. I can imagine
Oh,
because
yeah.
you've been on
Like-
the road for like 4.5 days, 5 days.
that was like 8.
Oh
at that
Jesus.
point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Took us 9 to get to California.
right. Holy crap. So you're 8 days in of just. I mean, there's so many things, right? Of just rattles,
Because it's like a 52-hour drive.
coolant issues, like just nonstop.
Yeah.
Sleep
Oh
deprivation.
yeah, mega.
Crazy. I'm sure crazy sugar highs and blood sugar and all that
It's
sort of
either we're
stuff.
like,
So
we'd eat or we'd eat breakfast, and we're not eating all day long.
yeah.
Like the day we got into California, that day it was like one of the best days that we had through Arizona. But we didn't eat anything from 6 in the morning. I think we left 5:36. We left in Arizona.
Yeah.
That entire day we didn't eat anything. It was just water and drinks the whole time. And then when we got to California, we're crossing over. We're on 66. Crossing over, I'm like, "Yo, Kev, film this." So I'm on. Driving, I'm like, how long until we get pulled over? I hear all the stories.
So right, because
CHP.
I was gonna say the highway patrol and there's like an agricultural border,
That's on like
right?
the main highway. So
Okay.
I was kind of freaking out about that. That was like the one thing I was worried about the whole time is what were they gonna bust me on? Because obviously I don't have mud flaps, so that's like number one.
Yep.
Illegal. I researched that in most states, it's totally illegal not to have mud flaps. And then my headlight situation and whatever else they want to.
The lack thereof headlights.
Yeah, just want to chomp us. So we go to this place right on the Colorado River in Needles, and it's Memorial Day weekend. There's people everywhere, golf carts. It was kind of a wild. It kind of looked like, I don't know, some Florida scene or that type of shit.
Yeah.
And people are partying, and I don't want to unload all my gear and bring it in this restaurant. And Kevin gets out and he talks to this one lady. She's like, "Oh yeah, I run this place. Just park it right there." Perfect. Front row spot. Don't have to worry about our shit. And get a couple beers, burger, hanging out for a bit, and then we're like, all right, let's 2 miles down the road is hotel. We're on our way there. Light bar's blasting. Probably everybody coming at us can't see a goddamn thing. It's fucking bright.
And neither can you.
Yeah, I can, well, I can see a little bit. We got street lights there. And this cop goes by us, and Kevin instantly out the window looks back. He's like, he just turned around, and he's like, we're both like, oh God, here we go. So pulls me over, and he's like, you know why I pulled you over? No, I don't. I'd be literally anything.
Right. Right.
So he's like, well, all I saw was a big bright light, the 3 cab lights, and then I didn't see any taillights, which total bullshit because all of the dash lights were on, all 4. So what are the chances of that being out in the back and that one being on? Not.
Right, right.
I know they were on.
Yeah.
So he's like, license registration, give him the wrong registration. So that was cool. And he's like, the plates don't match. I'm like, no, it's registered. I got it. So he takes my license, goes back to the car. He's like, as long as it's registered, I don't care. So I was like, I'll pull it up on my phone. Pull it up. He reads everything. He's like, all right, I'm not going to give you a ticket or anything. And at this point, Kevin's like, I'm filming you. And he's like, we've driven 3,500 miles or whatever. And he's like, you're the first cop to pull us over. And we're going to Santa Monica. So the guy starts laughing and whatever. And at this point, another cop pulls up. And, Kevin just doesn't know when to shut up on this one. The guy did say he's not going to do anything. But Kevin's like, what do you think of no mud flaps? What do you think of the headlights?
Oh, no, dude.
He's like just chomping it up. And he's like, he probably couldn't see the taillights in the back because when he gets on it, it just smokes like crazy.
Oh, my God, dude.
I wanted to kick his teeth in.
Like, dude,
So-
stop, man.
Yeah.
What are you
Well,
doing?
So, yeah, then the cop tells us we're probably not finding a hotel because it's Memorial Day and the population in that area almost triples.
Oh,
Nice.
So that was cool. And, all the people telling me, oh, book a hotel in advance. I don't fucking know where I'm going to be
right. It's tough to where you're going to
at
land.
all.
Yeah.
I might just try to power through or we stop to shoot photos, whatever you may have it. So it's literally impossible to plan. And then with all the cooling problems or whatever else.
Yeah.
So we go to the hotel, and the guy's like, no vacancy. And he looks on the computer. He's like, there's no vacancy literally anywhere within 45 minutes. And Kevin, is calling places. Oh, there's one an hour back in Nevada. Bro, I'm not going backwards.
Yeah.
We are not going backwards. It's 11 o'clock at this point.
Yeah.
You're out of your mind. He's like, I just want to bed. Yeah, me too. God damn, we've been out all day.
Yeah.
So we succumbed to the truck, and Kevin laid down in the parking lot, had a little paper towel on the concrete. We don't have any, nothing, no pillows, no room for this. So he's on the concrete, and I'm in the truck, just knocked out immediately. Obviously, I'm shot from all day driving, heat, whatever. And then I wake up, and he's up, looking at his phone, or whatever. He's like, I was just sleeping on the ground. That sounds more comfortable than the seat. So I get on the ground, put my hoodie underneath me. I just knock out for an hour and a half just in the middle of the parking lot. The door's wide open. I'm right behind it. I don't know if he was up at that point, but I woke up an hour and a half later and, we're going. Get 2 Red Bulls, crack them, and on our merry way. And this was into the part of you guys know John Harbinson?
No.
Never heard of her.
He's friends with all the Overcrest guys. He lives in Connecticut, and he's a crazy fuck. He'll drive, wherever with whatever. It doesn't matter what you give him. And he called me. He's like, dude, you really just need to be careful in that stretch of desert because it's 100 miles or so with no services.
Nothing. Yeah.
So he's like, make sure, and I've already been through there, but it was cool to, have him call in and, tell me this and that. But yeah, through that stretch at night from 2 a.m. till sunrise, we're in the desert, and the hill out there never seems like it's going to end. So half the time I'm trying to pay attention to the road, which can't see much of.
Right.
And I'm watching my cooling, my EG, all the gauges. I'm just over and over for, multiple hours. And then, the cops back there, they told us one spot, don't stop, Victorville. They're like, if you go there, make sure you duck because there's bullets flying everywhere.
Jesus Christ.
So that was cool. And where does the car start to overheat?
Oh, no.
Victorville.
Nice.
We're on the. Kevin's like, I hate being on the side of the highway, but just keep it on the highway.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Dude, the cops tell you not to stop in a town. That's amazing.
So yeah, through California, and I passed a lot on on the highway towards Santa Monica. So then the morning comes, sunrise is sick. I'm in Barstow. I get off back on 66, and there's these sick like little rolling hills. They're
Yeah.
not big. They're tiny. Like they go up as high as its desk.
Yeah.
But they're cool. Really old road, naval base next to us, and I didn't know there's a naval base at this time. I'm like, pop the drone up, train tracks coming by, sick footage. And then at this point, there's this car, super blacked out tinted windows, driving up and down the street, super sketchy. And I'm not really paying attention to it because I'm flying the drone and Kevin's driving slow.
Right.
So I could try to get the sunrise, the train coming, just everything going on. And he's like, dude, we got to get out of here. This car is so sketchy. Like, there's nothing around. There's like one house. There might be somebody living in it, but they're not going to help us. So then the car ends up, speeding away, whatever. They were coming back towards us and they turn around and I see him leave, and that was that. So I load up all the gear, land the drone, and then we come up right to where the main road's about to start, and the 66 sign is on the ground, and it's just cool with the sunrise. I'm like, dude, I gotta get out. I have to get out. Like, I can't pass this opportunity up. Shot a bunch of stuff on my phone, and then some film photos just on the point and shoot real quick, and we get back on the highway, and Kevin goes, there's two Durangos going cop Durangos directly to where we just were. He's like, they're right on that same road, heading in that direction. I'm like, perfect. Solid. Keep on going. So keep going. I think we got off at a gas station, and then this was, I think at this point we're like 2 hours from Santa Monica.
Yep.
And this is where another test of the patience started happening. So we let the car sit for too long after getting through the whole desert. No issues, really, other than that one little hiccup in Victorville. And get back on the highway, 20 minutes, overheating. Pull over. So this was like 6 times. And at this point, Kevin was like, I'm not getting out of the fucking car. Like, you know what you're doing. He's trying to edit shit on his phone.
Yeah.
And, and then we have people that we're telling we're going to be at Santa Monica Pier at this time. And then I got to keep updating them with, hey, I got cooling problems. So then I finally just share my location. I was like, just watch it. Like, you guys live a couple blocks. And we pretty much just try to straight shoot down to the pier. At this point, I was like over fucking 66. I was like, I just need that pier and to feel complete. So we roll up to the pier, and it's blocked off. And I was like, all right, I get the sign. That would be cool, Santa Monica, but I want the 66 sign.
Yep.
We have to start. And I'm like, we're not even going to be able to get under this sign. There's tourists everywhere. They got security. I hear somebody shout, one of our buddies that are from Milford, they're like, they just drove from Connecticut. And these 3 security guards were the fucking raddest dudes. They were like, you drove here in this thing? Park it wherever the fuck you want. So have it like angled, parked under the sign. We were there for like 45 minutes. They were all, interested in, what we're doing in the truck, and all these tourists are taking photos and stuff. And we hung out with a couple of our buddies. And then, that moment was like, it was surreal for sure. Definitely a very proud moment, but we weren't staying there. We were going to San Diego. So now I have 2.5 hours more to drive after this. And then it's traffic nightmare to go down there.
Yeah.
See one of my best friends I've known since I was 3. Big shouts to Colby, because his dad was here from Hawaii, the whole family. And he's like, I could just stay with us.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've known everybody for a long time, but
Right,
he didn't
but
need to
still.
do that with his family there, and we all had a phenomenal time there.
No, that's awesome.
And then fast forward like a week later, we were supposed to leave on Thursday.
I was gonna say you ended up spending extra
We were
time
supposed to leave on Thursday, and Sam let us crash with him. His fiance was away, so he's like, "Dude, you guys can stay here. Whoever wants the couch, I have a spare bedroom, whatever." And so we get there. I think the first night, he's like, "Oh, me and Jason Whipple are going to the Comedy Store. You guys want to come?" So we go fucking see Adam Ray at the Comedy Store downtown LA.
Sick.
Fucking shout out to Sam. He fucking took care of our tickets there. And then a couple days goes by, and he's like, "You guys should stay till the event at Good Time in Long Beach. It'd be cool to have your car there. It's here or whatever. And I'm like, I already booked my ticket. And he's like, we could figure something out. So get new tickets. And I ended up going up to Ojai on the last full day to see Matt Crook.
Yep.
And on the way up to Ojai, we left Sam's like 6, 7 in the morning, try to beat the LA traffic. And I took a wrong turn on the 405 or wherever the hell I was on. And I look at the map and I'm like, I'm pretty close to the Santa Monica Pier. It's like, 20 minutes away. And in LA time, that's obviously not far.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we're going. Like, maybe it's open. I don't know. Get there, nobody on it.
Nice.
Gates open. It's like it's like 2 hours after sunrise. And we hung out there for a while, shot a bunch of stuff, and that's when it really felt like I closed the deal.
Yeah,
Sealed the deal.
was done.
Have the truck in front of the sign, end of the route. And then hung out with Matt Crook all day and Gavin. Yeah, it was fucking
That was
Route 33, yeah, that's pretty much it. Route 33 out there, if you're ever in Ojai, is a sick road.
Yep.
Absolutely sick. I've never been on the Tail of the Dragon, so I can't really compare it to that. But Haggerty put it as like top driving road in America.
Yep.
It's just switchback after switchback, and nobody was on it. Probably saw 20, 30 cars through like a 3-hour stint of being on this. So like if you had a fun car,
Right. It's just
you
that
know?
hell of a time.
Oh
yeah.
my god,
What's that? It's Ojai. It's between Ojai and the big city and the coast over there, right?
like Sacramento maybe, Big Sur, Monterey.
we
up
took
in
it
that-
once. It's
Dude, it's fucking
fucking
sick.
Yeah, it really is.
Absolutely sick.
So you doing another one? Redemption 2? A re-redemption? A re-redemption remastered?
If I don't have a rod coming through the block when I leave here, I'll drive that wherever, if there was time for it.
Cooling system?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel like, now I know what to iron out. Obviously, you're going to run into problems in any
Right.
car.
There's,
and,
especially
even
something
if
like
it's
that.
something new or whatever you may have it. But, yeah, I would drive that wherever. If I have the time to do so,
Yeah.
totally would do it.
What's the plan at the moment? I know you're working on documentary, a
Documentary.
handful of different things
um,
related to the build.
So, yeah, another thing Dobbins hooked me up with. He said, if you can utilize these brakes and you have to make all 4 work, they're yours. This dude gives me E63 AMG brakes.
What?
Six
bro.
piston up front, 4 in the rear, and I'm on the plane. Like, how do I make this work? So I did all this research, and then I get home and I'm, emailing with Jason, and he's giving me some ideas on what to do because Sam's like, oh, he can get blanks and certain stuff. And
Yep.
basically, when he told me about one wheel bearing, I found out that they make Mustang 2 knuckles, and that accept a Corvette wheel bearing. So if that knuckle, whenever that comes in, bolts up to my control arms.
Yep.
Other than building a custom bracket and drilling the holes in the rotor and putting the new studs in, it's like a bolt-on ordeal.
Yeah.
Because you can use 2016 and up rotors fit perfectly inside, the cap. They're like 14.6.
Yep.
They're also $100 per rotor, opposed to the Mercedes-Benz, which are like $350 per rotor.
Solid.
So, shout out the American, parts
Let's go.
game.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely wanted the brakes on there. Got to get the cooling fixed. Andy, that did Peak Invitational, just got the carbon barn. He's making some carbon fiber ducts that are going to feed the radiator.
Oh, hell
They're
yeah.
wrapping around the sides of the cab. They're going to stick like 1.5 inches off and then feed directly in there. So
Oh, sick.
they're going to be matte and keep that like kind of tie in the wheels that are on the car. I think
Yep.
with like, more modern, but have that old look still with the matte and not go glossy. And then I would like to find, a better solution for headlights. And then once the ducts are in, I'm going to make a little like bed rail side, like old school where it's up and then tapers, like 45 and then has that like curved round, bedside thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of really like it as far as the vision. Like, obviously refine some of the wiring and that stuff.
Yeah.
But
Dude, smash that thermostat with a hammer. You fuck. Just really get it out.
yeah, so that stuff. But yeah, as far as the build goes, obviously I want to fix the strut towers in the front and make it look, nice, even though you don't really even see in there. It's just like a mental thing.
Right.
Of course, yeah.
I took a lot of time to try to make everything as like nice looking as possible, and obviously I have leaks and shit's all over the place, but I think for what we just did, it did pretty damn well.
Yeah,
It's version 1.
and not to
Yeah.
mention, you just got it back 2 days ago, and you drove it 2 hours here.
Yeah.
So clearly, you haven't had enough.
No, I mean, some of you know I'm expecting a baby in October, so like obviously
Hell
my
yeah.
life's not gonna come to an end, which a lot of people are like, fucking
no,
forget it.
no.
That's
They-
only totally
Those
fine.
people are jackasses. Like
We're
sure,
all October
you know.
babies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hell yeah,
yeah.
best
Excited
month.
for another one.
So
Nice
You know,
work.
You October?
really got it done.
Where are you? October?
September.
Ah, you're
It's
close.
It's close.
It's almost
It's
there.
close.
Almost made it.
But yeah,
Almost.
obviously I know things are gonna change, so
Right, for sure.
I want to get it in now with the driving.
Yeah.
And what I can do, and
Oh, it just adds, a few more elements and a bit more planning to say, hey, I'm driving across the country.
yeah, I mean it might be a little bit before a full trip like that, and I'm
Yeah.
doing 16 days, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just here with them running the Cumbies for Siggy's. Be right back.
Classic dad
Where the
move.
fuck are you?
Somewhere in New Mexico. Lost the Ann wrench again.
Cumbies was out of Siggy's.
You've been gone for 4 days.
Cass is in the chat.
We just gave away your strategy.
I don't even smoke. I got to go get cigs.
Get some Siggy's real quick.
Yeah, as far as that, and I don't know if you guys have any other stuff to touch on here.
Yeah, if you had some notes, if you want to give any shouts, if that sort of stuff.
I think first off, I want to say I think I've heard Scott say this in many instances: chase participation and not perfection, of something of that sorts.
Yep.
And it couldn't be any more true. I think a lot of people get stuck up in building the most perfect thing out there, and some people can pull through with that. I don't think that many that really do a monster full build and it gets perfect and then they enjoy it
Or gets finished.
or whatever you may have it. So what I'm just trying to say here is go out and enjoy what you're building and watch the progress. Like, obviously this was a little bit crazy to do in that sense, but I know what I want to refine now. I knew what I wanted to change before I left as far as visuals and stuff.
Yep.
There's just not enough time to do so. And on a daily basis, you have your normal life, and I don't think enough people do that.
They
wanna-
forget to enjoy it.
Yeah, they want a finished project, and some people enjoy the build. Like
Yep.
Mike Burrows always says that he enjoys the build.
I was shook. Right?
yeah,
you're
I-
a fucking
It's fun. dude.
glutton
Yeah,
for the
I
build.
mean, I love the
Gotta
build
hate
too,
the build.
but I want to get dude.
Yeah, you're
there's-
trying to go out.
I'm
You're
trying to
be
go out
outside.
and fucking do shit and
Trying to drive, dog.
Yeah, drive and break it and
See
see stuff
stuff.
and shoot. As a photographer, like,
Yeah.
I want to build something that I'm happy with and shoot stuff of it and then refine that and whatever. So
Yeah.
in this documentary, you're gonna see the progression of this whole thing.
Putting that thing in, like, again, just all the different locations that it touched between a big city like Chicago
Yeah.
and the contrast of a desert to California and all that sort of stuff. Like, seeing that vehicle in those positions, doesn't matter if it's not perfect, doesn't matter at all. Throw it out the window.
And I don't know. Obviously, you see, I'm not fully about perfect cars. Never have been, never will be. I feel like paint causes a lot of stress with people, and I feel like they don't take their shit out and enjoy it because they're like worried about it.
Don't
And I
wanna
get it.
ruin
If
it.
you have a rare car, like, I guess, I don't know.
My car's not for sale, dude. Kevin?
Oh.
No, sir. No, I 100%.
Motor is.
Depends who's
yeah,
asking,
motor
dog.
is. Yeah, it depends. Yeah, you got cash.
For sale.
I agree with you though. Like, a lot of people were like, "Oh, you just made your car so nice. Aren't you afraid to drift it?" I was like, "No."
Yeah, and I respect people like
No.
that for doing that. And, I always bust JR's balls all the time. I'm like, bro, you're going to wash that thing one more time and the paint is coming off. But as much shit as I give that dude, his car looks immaculate every day, and he drives the absolute shit out of it.
Yeah.
And I respect people like that.
Yeah.
Dude, it like adds risk to the reward.
Yeah, for sure.
Because like if your car looks sick and you're drifting and you're like, I could just fucking wrap this shit around, like I could fuck this shit up. It's like it makes it spicy.
Yeah.
Because what's the worst thing that you have to fucking fix it and like make it better?
Yeah. I don't know.
Ah,
I'm all for the refinement at this point in my life. Like, I don't need a shape A and perfect. And, I did take a lot of time to try to hide everything on this build and, drain my pockets with AN lines and, everything's exposed. So, like, I didn't want it to just be like these disgusting looking, lines. So in that sense, I took a lot of time to make it look as best as possible. And there's a lot of things I need to refine now.
Yeah.
Yeah, function stuff.
Yeah.
Cooling, oil leaks,
Well,
that stuff.
yeah, that, and there's certain lines and like some wiring in there that I'm not, the happiest with.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's
We're
part
gonna,
of
we're gonna get it done.
that's part of it.
So that's my public service announcement for all you people that
Drive your
know,
shit.
think it needs to
Just,
be.
it's
needs
okay to
you
just
know,
drive. Yeah.
Unless
Street
you're
your
like
shit, bro.
going for a straight up show and you're trying to win top dog and whatever that is at Helen or wherever it may be.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like 80% of the people that could literally get out there, they could do a couple modifications over winter, go drive it, enjoy it, and they don't need to let it sit for 7 years and not enjoy it.
I was gonna say, in most cases, have more fun.
Exactly.
That shit blows my mind. Like if you're dude, if you're letting your shit sit for 7, I have a friend who had his Neon just sitting since I met him in 2017. He started it 2 months ago.
I mean, it's a neon.
I don't give a fuck if it's a fucking Dodge Stratus, bro. That is way too long to sit on.
Well,
a pair
Dodge
of
Stratus
jack
is a nice car.
He's let it sit so long; it's become vintage.
Basically, yeah.
Is it an SRT4?
Yes.
Big dog.
There we go.
But still, like, dude, fucking enjoy your shit, man. Drive it, street
It's
it.
probably Josh's
track
old
it.
one.
I wish. You have a list, yes.
I'm not gonna go through the whole thing.
No,
Go
it's
through
okay.
It's
Do it all.
it's pretty long.
Rip it, dude.
some-
fat.
Nah, he's scrolling a lot.
Some people, there's a lot of like short things in here, just people's names and whatever.
Let's do it.
There's a lot of people here that listen that obviously know the Bootsy Boys.
Yeah.
Dave was super accommodating to let us interview stuff at his place. We had all the old timers and a bunch of people from Beard, Sand, and Gravel that worked there for the documentary.
Oh, sick.
In the space in February. My buddy Shane came down and filmed everything, with top tier professional equipment. That's what he does for a living. And
Yep.
I think some of those guys were pretty shocked when they walked in, and he's got multiple cameras set up and microphones and everything. So that was cool for him to donate his time for that. Luke at Bootsy, it probably wouldn't be even anywhere near with that amount of time this dude helped over the past 2 years. Like,
And making house calls, right?
oh
'Cause I
yeah,
remember
he's at the house
he'd
all the
just pop
time.
over
and,
yeah.
he'd pop over, and then I'd be like, "All right, Cass is cooking us dinner," and I don't know if he's coming over just to help me or have dinner too.
Hey, if it works,
We'd always joke about that. Like, he knows. So Cass taking care of us there. Swoops right here, machining,
Man.
just getting it done. And he briefly joked about this. So sorry about getting your finger broken, getting the rotor out. Marvin, some of you guys know him as Chillmatic. He's got the Samurai and a bunch of other wild stuff.
The best.
He gifted me those wheels.
oh hell yeah,
CCWs came off a GMG Racing Pontiac Solstice
No way.
race car.
They are my
So-
favorite part.
So yeah,
It
and then
fits
now those tied in with those brakes.
yep.
Oh,
Big
Spicy.
daddy. This big daddy
Spicy.
shit.
Damn.
ooh.
Who else do I got on here? Couple of the local sponsors, Milford Photo, developing and hooking it up with the film. Seth, iPrint Inc. He did all my printing, and he's going to be a partner for the film and that stuff. He's going to
Yep.
have a booth doing live printing. This will be at Tribus Beer Co. It's October 4th.
Hey,
Let's
my
go.
birthday.
Hey.
And if you have
Birthday
if
boy.
any of you guys are local and you have a patinaed car or of that sorts,
Yep.
I'm trying to do
guy.
a small display of some really cool patinaed cars. I've got a handful in mind already. I've reached out to some people. But, yeah, those ones are going to get parked right up front. Your shiny shit's going on the street.
What about a
But,
purple Tina E36?
Hell yeah, bring that baby down. Yeah, that's a running joke right now. All the nice cars are getting street parked.
Yeah, put him in the back.
Fuck it.
Who else we got here? Four-door Phil hooking it up with some stickers.
Always.
Yep, Andrew Din for the trailer. I think we talked about a bunch of these people throughout the trip. Clint for timing the pump way back. It's like 2 a.m. He's driving through. He's like, I'm going to be in town if you want me to come in through. So
Sure do.
we were there like late, and then we ended up knocking the engine over, not knowing it was on a stand
Yep.
or like blocks. And we come back in, and there was no drain on the the return on the turbo, like 8 quarts that thing holds all over my garage.
Oh,
and that was
no.
right after I put the fresh lift in the floor.
8 quarts?
Dude, in black diesel, disgusting.
Oh,
So I'll send you a photo of the
Dude.
corner.
Dude.
We were there for like 2 hours just vacuuming.
Alex
and,
spilled a
oh my
quart
God,
and was
it
like, "This is the end of
Dude,
the world."
1 quart looks like the BP oil crisis.
Dude, 8 quarts.
It's
is
amazing how
so
far
much oil.
1 quart spreads, bro. It's like
yeah, it's insane. I don't know if I have a photo of that, but if I do, it's
Somehow.
insane. Who else? FCP Euro. They're a
FCP.
partner in this journey with some parts and stuff. Dan Crosley. If you're into the VW scene, you know him. He has documented a lot on film and is going to continue to do so. So,
Yep.
mega shouts to him.
He's an
There's some really cool.
OGs.
Dude,
A big
the
up.
day before we leave, shooting on his 1932 RB Graflex or whatever you call it. 2 hours later, fucking texted me the photos. Developed, already done.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Like, dude's
Crazy.
a whiz.
Yeah.
Absolute whiz.
Cranking it out.
Yeah, I think and Bill Telesco, Revolution Motorsports, he was a huge help along this too. What else? Mike Burrows, Stanceworks, he accommodated. He was like, you could leave the truck here if it needs to get shipped.
Yeah.
So it stayed with him, and he got it on the carrier, and yeah,
What a lad.
yeah, man.
Left him with a
Something
list.
of this sort, you know, I took a lot of pride in trying to do as much as I could myself.
Yep.
But the reality of it, it's not possible. You know,
Yeah,
there's
there's
just so much stuff to have, and it's a monumental effort on everybody to make this happen. And, you know, obviously there's people that I'm paying to do stuff, and then there's people who are willing to give their time and help out and make it happen. So
Yeah.
on both ends of that, thank you to all the people, you guys coming down, shooting, promoting this whole thing. And obviously we have more with the film going to come out later in the year.
Yep.
In that whole ordeal. But yeah,
How are you boys at Total
And
Care
you guys, you know,
Transport?
obviously we had a little mix up with last week with not coming, and you guys were talking about the car scene. And I think the topic on pockets is a total great way to sum it up. There's plenty of good in the car community.
There's right. You
But
there's
you
just
need
it's
to, you know,
endless.
you need to find the right avenue, and obviously this thing kind of leads more to a hot rod avenue. I don't know that many people with hot rods. You know, I don't hang out in that crowd, but there's people from all sorts of, you know, avenues that came forward to help with this.
tie-ins from the Euro scene, all over the
Everything.
place, all over the place.
Everything,
Because it truly just depends on, again, your pocket and
for sure.
finding the people that are relatable and of the same mindset, which most of the time you'll attract anyway. If you're that way, you'll
100%.
attract like-minded people and you'll be good.
Yeah.
It's out there. Just, you know,
Yeah.
it's
Do a
not
little
the
digging.
internet. Yeah, it's just not the internet.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, man.
Dude, congrats on the trip.
Thank
it's
you.
it's a monumental trip, especially after doing, putting your hard-earned money, time, effort into something that you built.
Yeah, there's
developing the
a lot of,
concept and
you know,
everything.
A lot of times I'm looking at my bank account, like literally, like to the last dollar, drained, and I'm like, oh, is this gonna work? Is this literally gonna work?
Right.
And is it gonna be worth it? And you know, we're in a better spot now. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who shared and bought a T-shirt and all stickers, whatever you may have it donated on the trip. Because without you guys, I would probably still be in like New Mexico.
It's beautiful. New
Will there
Mexico.
be anything for people to snag at the show?
Yes.
Because the website or the
It's still up.
it's still up,
Yeah,
so
it's
people
still
can
up.
still okay,
It's still
perfect.
up. I was gonna cap it, but you know, there's people still interested, which is incredible. It's awesome.
No, truly,
I love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna do another design that's gonna be mainly geared toward Milford. So there's like a iconic tower in our town.
Yep.
We're gonna do something with design like coming around a corner or whatever, and it's got that tower there. So that'll be the more Milford-esque one. And then I'm gonna try to do a one-day in brewery only collaboration with Tribus.
Yep.
Nice.
So you'll have to, we'll print some stuff beforehand, but you have to buy it at the brewery.
Just show up
We're
to
not
cop it.
shipping anything.
Yeah.
Luckily, you're doing it on the Lord's Day,
So yeah.
October 4th.
Yep.
I'm the Lord.
All
Get
right.
it?
No, I got it.
You got it?
I got it.
As long as you
I was
get
a
it.
little
We
confused.
we got it, but just didn't
You
acknowledge
smell when I'm
it.
stepping in?
Didn't
Oh, I smell you.
Yeah, he's over here. You know, I have so many things on my mind, and total care transport,
Total Care Transport, unbelievable.
hooking it up.
They
getting
truly were total care.
it, and they got it here 3 days early.
That's crazy.
So when the dude called me yesterday, he's like, "Hey, your truck's here," and then it's raining, pouring, and he's like, "I have one other car in the carrier." So I'm thinking the other car's, you know, it was a nicer car,
Yeah.
definitely better condition than mine, and I think he's worried about pulling the other car out in the rain because I don't know what he's got in there. Lo and behold, it's like a newer Range Rover or something, and my dad was in the lot, you know, because I had to bring my truck there and then drive this one back home. And my dad ended up going up to the window. He's like, "Hey, my son's at work right now, but do you happen to have this hot rod?" And the guy's like, "Oh, yeah." He's like, "I just want to wait till the rain stops because I don't want it to get wet." And my dad's like, "Get fucking wet." He's like, "He just drove this thing to California and all
got
sorts of everything."
deer and oil
Yeah,
and
and
fucking
the guy's like,
10
"Oh."
different coolants all over
And,
it.
You know, I don't want to. It's kind of a funny situation. So we go to pull the car out, and the guy's lifts in the truck aren't working, and this guy's stressing.
Yeah.
You know, which I feel like anybody would be stressing. I just went through 16 days of this every day of problems. So I was like, dude, I got all day now. I'm out of work.
Yeah.
Like,
Car's here.
I'll
It's
help
not
you out.
fuck-
You know, whatever we got to do. And I was like, take your time. Like, I don't care. Like, I get it tomorrow. If you can't get it to, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So, you know, we worked through it and got it situated. My dad and the guy figured it out. Helped. You know, the guy needs new batteries, so the pump wasn't, you know, powering. But
Yep.
it was just kind of a full circle of like other people helping me on the trip, and then this dude's delivering my car.
Right,
You know,
right.
it gets it here safely, but then it's trapped in the back of the truck.
Yeah, he's dealing with his own.
Oh yeah, that guy was rad. So yeah, shout out to those guys. And
Shout out to Hal.
Big shout out to Hal.
1999. This man thinking about us over here.
Hit him with a
Hold on. It's a Bluetooth delay.
There it is.
yeah.
So we can expect to see some more stuff out of Sam. Did you shoot
he's-
with
yeah,
anybody
yeah,
else
yeah,
out there
yes.
as well? Obviously,
yeah,
no
yeah.
timeline, but
Sam is gonna put that out a little bit before the premiere.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
probably September, I would assume. You know, we did the interview in the car, and then we kind of did like a recap one on the way to the airport
Yeah.
with him because he's like, obviously we can't hear you well, or I couldn't hear you, so you know it'll probably be like a tie-in to both of those in that. And he shot a sick photo also in this tunnel.
Yeah.
There's up and down this tunnel, brake boosting, and by the time we were done, probably 30 passes, like you couldn't see in the tunnel at all. It was like, is the tunnel even open?
That's amazing.
It's terrible.
it's a bit of a a reoccurring issue with vision
Yeah.
in that
Oh, yeah,
vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? That's the windshield's made of.
Plexi.
It
But
is
it's flat frame, so I'm definitely gonna put proper glass in it
Yeah.
because it is like
Yeah,
he saw it, and it wasn't even like the height of sunset.
Yeah, it's tough.
It was not good.
You
Like,
look
yeah.
at plexiglass and it's.
No,
you can't see
she
through it.
glares up.
Yeah, and then after a couple spins in the dirt out there and rocks, and
Yeah,
obviously
yeah,
just
yeah.
regular road debris and whatever.
Can't even clean it with a rag. It just makes
Yeah.
it worse.
So
Now it's
well, yeah,
scratched.
thank you seriously to everybody. Couldn't have been a more awesome experience, and this whole event I'm trying to do at Tribus. I want to bring on as many people, and you know, I said it before. I want patina cars. I want the whole vibe. I'm trying to get Ludwig to come down with some stuff.
Yep.
And I already talked to you briefly about this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to make it just a cool event. Obviously, it's about the truck, but I have plenty of other stuff going on. My buddy's gonna be spinning vinyl all night, and whatever else we can come up with.
No, it's a good reason to celebrate,
So yeah,
watch a cool movie,
yeah.
make it all happen.
Let's just hope I can figure out how to edit.
We all got vinyl. Or we all got patina cars, right?
My M5's pretty crapped out. So
My-
yeah.
That, dude,
My
I was gonna
roof's
hit you.
patinaed.
We were pretty patina.
You talking about the E28?
yeah.
Ah, that's fucking top tier. Bring it down.
She might come down.
front
I'm
row,
supposed to be in
baby.
Chicago, but I might skip that event.
I'll drive
Oh.
it down for you. I'll have to trailer it back up.
What a guy.
Yeah,
What a lad.
yeah, dude. Seriously, bring that out. And yeah, anybody out there, patina cars, October 4th. Reach out. It's gonna be like 5 p.m. on.
It's a Saturday this year, I think. My birthday.
You
Nice.
got it, baby.
It's a good
You wanna
day.
come
Be there?
down, yeah.
Solid day.
I just keep making it about me.
It'd be-
got
I don't know, yeah, well,
Okay,
I'll
come
make
out
sure,
to
he's
Shook's
spinning
birthday
vinyls,
celebration.
birthday, yeah, dude, we'll tie it in.
It's Tribus, October
Zach
4th.
was so nice
And-
throwing me a birthday party.
What a guy.
Mostly about me.
If I can make this happen, I want to build a full-size car turntable to put the truck on in the brewery.
Yes.
The brewery's down for it, so now I just got to figure out how to make all these motors and a platform and whatever.
You just need
Make
one decent sized motor.
Like
A
a
lot of
lazy
going-
Susan?
Yeah, but motorized, so it's spinning super slow.
Use the 6-cylinder that came with it.
Fucking
Got 4,300,
Oh, yeah.
baby.
Yeah, you can make it happen. You can figure something out.
Yeah.
What's the website?
Rust, the number 2, redemption.bigcartel.
Let's go.
Hit it up. Go
Yeah.
support.
Yeah.
And then obviously you can follow Zach on Instagram. Again, that website, you will see stuff from us that we will link and tag Zach and everybody involved in this thing coming up as well. So be sure to check that stuff out. Support if you can. That is going to do it this week for us. We will be back. Back next week. And then I'm away as well. So we won't be back the following week. So
Show's
we're
going
gonna
to have to lead it.
So
I have one last thing to add.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm shot. Huge shout out to the Overcrest Foundation.
Let's
for jumping
go.
on board
Yes,
with this.
actually.
They've got a ton of awesome things they're doing for the community. You can hop on their website and check out what that's all about. And
And they helped with this trip.
yeah, huge.
Yeah.
So they're a big part of this.
Yep.
And there's just a lot.
Are you going on the next rally? They released the dates, right?
They released the dates.
15th to
They didn't release
18th
the
of October,
area.
I
Well,
believe.
Dude, there's no fucking way.
No, yeah.
There's
That's
no
what I was
way.
like.
I was like, guys, if it's a couple hours, but they said hollers. So to me, that means Appalachia.
Yeah.
That's unless it's West Virginia, Appalachia. I
Right.
don't think I'm making it.
Right, right.
But
The
yeah,
due date's October.
30th, 29th. We got time.
Brother.
Brother,
I'll tell you one thing you can't miss.
Cass,
dude.
close your ears. No, I already know that's probably not happening.
Yeah.
But if it was closer for whatever reason, it was in
go
New York or
24th.
something.
Halloween,
like,
baby,
whatever.
Love a Halloween baby. My uncle was a Halloween baby.
But yeah, unfortunately, probably
Scary
one of the
guy.
closest ones it'll ever be.
Yeah.
Not in the cards.
Hey,
it
it's
is what
okay.
it is.
It pans out. Right.
No, for
right.
sure.
That's it for us, ladies and gentlemen.
Later.
We'll be back next week.
Thanks for listening. I won't be back. I'm going for a month.
Yep.
If you're in Europe, hit me up.
He'll be gone. Shook and I will be here next week.
Yeah.
Then we're gone the following week. Shook might be by himself that week.
Okay.
And then
Shook should bring a crew of his own cast.
Oh my god,
that'd be so
hilarious.
and
Just whoever I pick.
Just,
Are you
just
going to
whoever
that
you find.
show, Racism?
Whoa. if it was still named that, I'd go just get a shirt. No, I'm not famous enough to get in. I tried last year. Jimmy wouldn't sneak me in his trunk, so I'm fucked. In Wrocław.
And you know how to speak the language and stuff?
Not well. Tell you that much right now.
You're trying to go
Also,
to
there's Air to
Ultra
Water
Race.
in Warsaw this weekend.
Yeah.
Trying to go what?
Ultra race.
Ultra race.
Ultra racing.
race.
I know a Polish guy or
Yeah,
two.
they went from racism to ultra race.
Ultra race.
We'll get a one day down there in Poland.
All right.
But yeah, no, I'd love to go, man. It looks so sick, but it's just, I think it's,
Can't you bribe them with American money? Isn't it worth way more? You tell me it's like cheap as fuck there.
it is cheap as fuck there.
All right, there you go.
I could
Wave
try to
a
bribe
hundo
him
in
through.
front of
No, I got.
You know, but
Little
this guy,
potentially-
this guy, Mr. Benjamin.
I got you, dude. I got to maybe connect.
I think I do have some connects
A
there.
maybe.
Great, solid, maybe connect.
It's a possibly. Imagine thinking of new names for
Wrocław is
racism.
It's like 2 hours from my house. I should probably go.
They're like, do we do
Should
ultra
definitely go.
super
Yeah, I should-
racism?
And I've rented a French wagon. They
Best
must love
race?
French wagons.
Ah, dude.
Dude, we don't
Ultimate
get
race.
French cars. I gotta see how bad it is.
Did you get a Citron?
Yes.
Oh.
Citroën. 406 or something.
Why are they
wagon.
French?
It's definitely gonna be terrible.
Yeah, you're gonna be on the side of the road broken down.
Let's be honest.
And guess what? Nobody's fucking stopping.
Probably a
Ain't
cool
stop, not for a
initiative.
French car.
No,
dude.
exactly.
Dude.
Thanks, everybody in the chat. We will see you next week.
Reach out to Shook about coming on in 2 weeks.
So
He's putting together an all-star crack cast.
huge crackhead cast. You know what's funny is young Ben
You got this.
texted me.
Young
No,
Ben.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Easy.
No. I want weaponized autism. I want it to be a show.
Of
Of
nothing,
shows.
of absolutely nothing.
Yes, of nothing and everything at the same time.
We
We would need our local resident autist Matt Wood, though, for sure.
I'm sure
He
he'd
said
be
he's
down.
in already.
I'm sure he'd be down.
And so is
Oh,
Nick
man, you guys
Pizzar.
are-
he said, "I'll be there." Didn't even ask him yet.
See, that's how.
I need an autist. Matt's like, right here.
How many hands for my engine blowing up on the way home?
No,
I
you're
don't
gonna
know.
be.
Yeah, I think you're
no,
gonna be
don't
good.
you dare. You're gonna
Honestly,
be
it
fine.
didn't sound like the rapture was happening out
cool.
there.
I'm
So
just
We'll fire
bugging
up
out.
and
Yeah.
see how she sounds.
we'll find out in about 10 minutes.
All right, perfect.
All right. That's it from us, everybody. See you next week. Oh, support the Beaver Bee. Go to ridemotoring.com. Sign up for that. We got some new merch and some new products coming your way. Some big new products. It's going to be going to be a big launch soon. We're going to launch as hard as we can. So
We're gonna launch
we're gonna
ropes.
just get,
We're gonna launch ropes. We're gonna bottom out, launch ropes.
That's what
Launch
we're gonna
ropes
do.
all around this prize.
that's
Spider-Man.
exactly what's going to happen. All right.
Shooting
we'll see you later.
webs.
Peace.
Bye.
Adios.
Say-